Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Nat20Hot. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we're a bunch of friends who like to play Dungeons and Dragons together. We've been playing together for the past couple years and decided in 2023, why not start streaming? And we're not just doing this for fun, we're also doing it for the kids. So if you take a look at the link in our chat, we are raising money for Extra Life, which is a fundraiser for America's children's hospitals, which is an excellent opportunity for you to give to people in need this holiday season. Every dollar goes towards hospitals in your neck of the woods, and we are very close to achieving our annual goal of $1,000. So if you find it in your heart, you find it in your wallet, and you want to give to us as we raise money for those who need it, feel free to drop a donation at the link in the chat. But without further ado, let us get underway because the last time we joined our party, we were allowing Cena to go her own way following her attempt to escape the party. And the party finally left Butcher's Pass behind and arrived in Conway's Ferry. The riverside town is largely unlike how Willem remembers from his youth, as an eerie silence has fallen across the town. Strict curfews enforced, and few passerbys willing to meet their gaze as they walked its cobbled streets. Now firmly under the oppressive thumb of Hans and Dadi's cult, the party carefully maneuvered their way through the streets, avoiding detection and ultimately coming across the Oxbow Inn, a rundown tavern where Laserhawk was originally meant to deliver Willem for his bounty. The two came to an accord. Laserhawk would get his money, as Willem would go willingly to the hags. So long as Laserhawk helped him with one thing: locate and capture Bernard, the local counselor who led the raid on Willem's childhood home. But while at the tavern, they encountered a supposed servant of the hag, Talia, and she urged the duo to find her in the woods that evening, where she would have her employer remit payment to Laserhawk and find a new offer for Willem. Following a brief shopping trip where Bramwin and Dunk learned more of the oppressive yet divided nature of the cult in Conway's Ferry, the party made their way to the woods in search of Talia's master. Instead, they found Bernard, chained to the very same stump where Willem had been dreaming, a ghost of a memory from his youth. Talia, a hag of the moonlit coven, revealed herself and offered a bargain: kill Bernard here and now, exact his revenge, and be gifted with their powers as their patron. Willem, emboldened and seeing clearly for the first time in weeks, refused, swearing a blood oath to seek revenge on the coven for the path his life has taken. And so that is where we find ourselves, on the edge of a dark forest, night fallen upon the landscape, a quarter moon rising ever higher in the sky. Ahead of you, only a few lights left to glow give you the sight of the buildings of a town under siege. Even from this distance, you can still hear the roar of the river crashing along the rocks and making its way further into town. Bernard grunts behind you, rubbing his wrists where the remnants of the heavy chains still dangle on his wrists. So, what's your plan?
I don't know.
I look to Willem.
I look at Laserhawk, meeting his one-eyed gaze.
And he looks at me.
I poke my head out of the bushes and I look at Dunk.
And I look at Branwin.
He looks at me.
And I look at him. So, that just happened. No, I hate that. Never mind. Well,
we take that back. We take that back 5
yeah,
seconds.
yeah, we're gonna redo that.
Take two.
So, where do you think we should begin?
You okay, dude?
Yeah, no, that was pretty intense. I've never sworn a blood oath before, and I don't know what just came over me, but I had to do it.
I honestly thought you were gonna kill this guy.
Yep. Well, I did too. But I'm tired of being manipulated.
Bernard grunts. He's as chicken shit as the day I found him in
Oh,
the
shut
forest.
up.
He didn't have the
I'm going
stones to
to
do it.
attempt to kick Bernard square in the balls.
Roll to hit.
I need to undo my dice. Can somebody roll for me, please?
Yes.
I don't know what the modifier is on an unarmed
I don't know.
strike.
Can you kick people in the balls as a paladin now?
I'm
What
an
is
oath.
his arm?
I'll be an oath of vengeance paladin.
Chris, what is his unarmed strike? I rolled 4.
You attempt to give Bernard a swift kick, but the adrenaline is just racing through you, and quite honestly, as you kind of look down at your hands, they're shaking with a mix of fury and quite frankly anxiety over the decision that you've just made, and you end up really just kind of kicking a lot of dirt in Bernard's general direction, and he sputters and coughs. What a kid!
I don't fucking like this guy.
Yeah, no, he killed my parents. I don't fucking blame you.
Should we just hunker down for the night?
Is that a safe thing to do? I say, turning to Bernard. Is the cult going around? How long ago were you taken?
I was taken a few nights ago
Okay.
from the Oxbow, but no, they mostly stick to the streets at night. Not many people enforcing the curfew, but it's not something you want to get caught violating. Unless we can make it to the Oxbow in 10 minutes, it's probably best we camp out for the night.
Then we should probably do that, because I don't think we're making it to the Oxbow in 10 minutes.
Let's just
Hmm.
move away from this exact spot,
I don't really understand what you all plan on doing.
Well,
What do you think you and what army are going up against this cult? They killed Drum. They took over the mill and slaughtered who knows how many on the other side of town, but what makes you think you're strong enough?
we, well, first of all, we are heroes. And second of all, we happen to have an old friend embedded in the cult. Friend might be a bit of a stretch.
Thieving bitch,
Friend?
more like it.
How about we...
Sounds like you guys really know what you're doing.
Nope.
Okay, because you're really winning here, dude.
Yeah. Big council member, really protecting the town and doing something about this fucking cult, huh?
I did my
Look at
job.
you. You're in the woods.
And Green Boy.
I'm gonna start walking off and looking for a good place to set up a tiny hut.
I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start looking.
I'm
for,
going
like,
away
firewood
from the
and stuff.
river.
I will do the same thing,
You're
but I would like to have a little sidebar with Laserhawk. Unless anybody else has something to do first.
No, I guess I'll stay and watch Bernard. Someone's got to keep an eye on him.
Would you prefer I call you Scraft or Laserhawk? Sorry, just want to be respectful.
I think we...
You can call me either at this point.
All right.
Like I said, no longer really hunting your bounty, so you don't have to call me by my bounty hunter name.
Understandable. Scraft, I think I might have just done like the second or third most stupid thing of my life, maybe first. I need you to teach me everything you know about killing hags.
I'd love to. First of all, you haven't really done anything all that cool up to this point anyway, but that was the coolest thing I've ever seen you do.
Thank you. I kind of am inclined to agree.
I have to admit I had you pegged a little wrong. I thought that you were maybe gonna be a hag or something.
Yeah,
What
I
I was
gathered that from all the you're gonna be a hag, boy.
what I was told before finding you was that you were very dangerous. They said that you had acid breath. You could enter people's dreams. Someone who didn't I couldn't trifle with. I thought that you were truly just destined to be a hag. I I was I was misinformed. It seems. So I'd love to teach you. Uh, I've never killed a hag though, so you know. And also, I
Sorry,
don't know that much about them. Clearly,
s- sorry. Just what was that?
I have never killed a hag. They're kind of known for being invincible.
Did you just say invincible?
Some like that, damn near it.
Uh, okay. Well, I just made an enemy out of an entire coven of hags.
Look, I'm not saying there's no way to do it. I'm just saying that I don't know that way.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
normally hunt people, not hags.
with the whole I don't know, man. I just thought you might have done it already because you seem to really hate hags, and I thought maybe there was some sort of personal vendetta in your backstory or something where you'd like know how to do it. I I gotta
Do I
say I'm
need
a
a
little
personal reason to hate a stinking hag?
no. I mean, clearly manipulative bad. I mean, I don't think all hags are necessarily like that, but yeah, that sucked. So okay, tell me everything, or please teach me everything you think you might know about killing hags.
Chris,
Because
do I know anything about killing hags?
Make a history check, and you can do so with advantage as your favorite enemy.
While he's doing that, is this any better?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
History with advantage?
Yes.
A nat 20.
Aha! You don't. You understand hags to be immortal simply because those that you are aware of and have already proven to be true. So in your readings, you're aware of this and have only seen it reinforced with your encounters with Ophelia. Hags feed off of a life force energy that they prepare in their lair, and generally through engagements with mortals, coming to bargains with mortals, they extend their life by feeding off of the life forces of others around them. So, generally speaking, they bind their souls to particular things or items that they fancy, and even in death, they can return to their lair and resume the feeding of a life force. So hags are best killed in their lair, where they can be destroyed. However, that is also where they are their most powerful, and so you are keenly aware of those facts.
That's a good amount of facts. Um, they are unfortunately immortal. There is, you know, one way to kill a hag, but it's you got to really get in their fucking face about it.
Kind of like when we were in that fucking spooky house, and Ophelia was like, "I'm draining his life force."
Correct. I think that was maybe the thing that was keeping her alive. I think if we kill that, we kill her.
Yeah, she did mention drawing from Waltham's vitality to keep herself young and beautiful.
Um,
So we
but
should maybe do that at some point, but like not now.
yes. Uh, and also don't don't tell anybody else this, but before we kill whatever hag that we're gonna kill, I need to I need to talk to him about something. Been looking for a little audience with one of them.
Are you gonna are you thinking about making a deal?
No deal that hasn't already been struck.
cryptic, but I will respect your secrets. I can't, you're your own man, but I really don't think I could allow you to make a secondary deal with a hag. I think that's kind of my thing now.
But once that deal's fulfilled, at least her end of the bargain,
Yeah.
at that point, let's fucking kill him.
Yeah. So I have another question for you, and I'm not sure you'd know anything about this, and maybe this would also be a Branwen question too, because she knows about Fae things. But when I was like walking out of that grove, there was this voice in my head, and it was all like, "You've made a big mistake, boy. I'm so disappointed in you." And I do think I kind of made a deal with the hag where she would give me information if I got her scrying eye. And I'm not sure if me swearing a blood oath to destroy their coven voids that deal or not.
I feel like maybe it's whichever one you do first.
Okay. Yeah. I
But
mean, I could still
I don't
technically give
really
her the
know.
eye, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that would work out though. Anyway, uh
Well, Willem, I gotta say I'm happy to not be hunting you no more. I think we might make a pretty good team killing hags and such.
yep. The first time for everything, right? And I'll try to look past the point that you shot a poison dart into my neck and
Yeah,
tried to bring me back here.
just business, son. Sorry.
It felt a little personal, but I understand. And I guess we'll walk back to the camp with Lizard
So
on
I'll
his
say in this time you were able to find a reasonable campground, a couple hundred yards from the river, but far enough away from the grove where everything went down with Talia. And you've kind of made yourself a little area for yourselves and settled in for the evening.
I start making my tiny hut. It's a little hut.
Okay. And is anybody doing anything prior to going to bed?
I am going to send a message to El Rey, my
before
boy.
before you do that. I'm going to give you a little tap on the shoulder and ask for a little favor.
Mm,
Hey, you thinking about sending a message to anyone?
yes,
Okay. Is it El Rey?
yes.
So those hags, and like you remember, well, you wouldn't remember because you were dead. But we all drank this like weird tea, and it gave us horrible visions. And in my horrible visions, there was claws coming from the earth grasping at Gwen. You remember Gwen from Trowood, right? I had you get a book for her, my girlfriend,
Yeah,
kind of.
you accidentally betrothed yourself to her.
Yeah, I didn't really know I was doing that. But so like I get the sense that like the hags might try to go after her in like some sort of punitive fashion for what I've done today. So if you could just ask El Rey like if there's anything he could do to keep an eye on her, try to keep her safe, like I'd appreciate that. And in exchange, I'm prepared to, if I ever see her again, not hit on your sister.
That you know what? This is fair because I will have to use 2 spell slots.
All
Deal.
right, it's a deal. Willem's a little
I'll
sad
make
about it.
that deal.
It's a deal.
He's a little sad that he doesn't get to hit on my sister anymore.
Yeah, she's so hot. It's so fun.
All right. I cast a spell saying the magic words. Hey girl, hey. This is to Elray. Um, we're in Conway's. I also counted out these words. Everybody is scared. People are being killed. No one can get out. Send help. Doing what we can, but please do what you can. I'm okay. And then I end the spell with the magic words, what you wearing?
Okay. Hold on.
An alternate way to cast the spell is saying, hey, you up.
You get to respond for free, right? If he asks you questions, or
Yes.
do you have to? Okay, yeah.
Oh no, not if he has. It's I
So
send
it's
one.
it's
He
one way.
sends
It's not
one.
bi-directional. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So he gets to respond for free.
Right. No, I know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is a sign if he's counting words. Usually he just
Yeah.
answers.
You hear a voice in your head, a familiar one, and he responds, "Good to hear from you. Who's in charge in Conway's Ferry? We've heard little news. What are you planning, and when are you making a move? We'll rally. Lavender robes."
Where's is Bernard around?
Bernard is here, yes.
Just like snap my fingers to get his attention. Hey, who's in charge?
He kind of grumbles and looks over you. "I don't speak to you, elf."
Of course, he's a racist piece of shit.
Oh god, oh god.
I'm gonna punch him and say, yeah, I do.
Roll to hit.
My D20. I did not hit him.
You guys are struggling to be intimidating. He kind of leans away as Dunks like throws a flailing fist in his direction. He goes, "I'm captured by a bunch of kids. Who's in charge is Sigmund, one of Deity's zealots. Claims to hear
No,
some
who's in
mystical voice."
forgot the word cult for a second, and oh my god, I thought my brain was breaking. Uh, um, no, who's in charge of the town? Who's the normal person in charge of the town?
Edgar Drum, he's dead by Sigmund's hand.
Who's second in charge?
I mean, there's the counselors. I don't know where most of us are. I'm one of them. I'm
Oh god.
pretty sure Sinestra's dead. I'm honestly the only reason I might be alive is because that hag took me. So I suppose I have to thank you for that. And he looks over in your direction, Willem.
Is that said with venom and/or sarcasm?
It's a bit of both.
Okay. I'm gonna spit on him.
Roll to spit.
What's
I'm just kidding.
spit?
You don't actually have to roll. He kind of
No,
just
no, Chris, I will roll to spit. Tell me
yeah.
what the
It's I
ability
mean
is.
make us like an unarmed strike against him basically.
Dirty 20 to spit.
Yeah, you hock a
18
nice fat loogie right on his kneecap. And you kind of brush as he's kind of like sitting there in the dirt and he scrapes it off and goes, "Child."
I'm gonna lean down and get in his face, and I'm gonna point at Branwyn, and I'm gonna go, "Do you know how old she is?"
You know
Um,
how old I am?
No.
she's some kind of elf, so sure I won't like the answer.
She's a big fucking deal, and she's probably older than you, so show some respect, scum.
You guys think very highly of yourselves, but I haven't heard any cohesive plans, so I'll stick here and wait for someone to find us and put us out of our misery.
You're doing a lot of good to help save Conway's Ferry. You
What do
just
you want me
rather
to do?
stay?
It's a lost cause.
You killed my parents for this. To become a counselor, to
Son, I didn't
fill
kill your
yourself with
parents to become
glory
a
and rid
counselor.
the town of hags, and you're just gonna roll over and let some fucking cult of, by the way, Feywild worshippers come in and run amok. Do you have no
Son,
spine?
I got plenty of spine, son. I didn't kill your parents because it got me a counselor position. The way I look at it is, that's just a delightful bonus. When I killed your parents, I did it to get rid of people who would be a curse to nature, being a curse to our gods. Everything else that happened
Well,
after that's just gravy. Except the fact
seems
that
like
you're
the
still
gods might
here.
turn your back on you anyway. Hmm?
God's work in mysterious ways.
Okay,
He'll
you
come.
two shut up. I gotta send a message. Hey girl, hey. So I'm answering Elray's questions. So in case you're confused on what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Sigmund for cult, counselor remainders for town. Going to recon tomorrow. Will update when can. Please check on Gwen from apothecary for Willem. Favorite animal? This is the question that we're all waiting for. Let's take bets. I bet it's an owl or a dolphin.
Probably a
Possum.
bird.
A possum? Chinchilla.
Oh wow, I'm down to my last word to answer it. Okay.
You
Well,
could
use
cheese
one.
it a little bit. You're the DM.
Okay.
I mean, I cast the spell saying "Hey, girl, hey," so
You hear in your voice, in your head, a voice. Sigmund, the zealot. Be swift and be careful. He abandoned his kin years ago and has been in the employ of many false gods. Noted on Gwen. Ferret.
Respectable.
He strikes me as a ferret boy.
he said it so intensely. I think he really loves ferrets. I relay that to the crew. Also, especially the part about the ferret.
Helpful.
So, Sigmund's kind of a cult hoe.
Yeah. I wonder if this cult has any actual power now that Hanson's not there, but it sounded like Cena. I don't know if Willem heard this or not, but was talking about hearing some lady's voice again, and yeah, that's not great. So maybe they do still have some sort of power.
So I think plan should be recon,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and I think we might want to split up
Okay.
because it sounds like there's two sides, and I guarantee that Cena's probably not going to be on the Sigmund guy's side, and we need to go quick if we can.
And he's the one who's in charge right now. Yeah, yeah.
So I think if we can suss it out, me and Dunk go check out Sigmund's side, and you, not Randy, Laserhawk and Willem. In my defense, I was for some reason calling Willem Randy. I don't know how that makes sense. And then Willem and Laserhawk go check out Cena's side.
Okay. And the plan there would be to
We
try
just need
to
information,
convince
honestly.
Cena to
Uh,
work with us.
Just information.
I don't mean to put a little wrench in your plans here, but do I know Sigmund at all, Chris? Like, do I know of him?
You make a history check.
Okay. 4.
You're familiar with the name. You know he's a dwarf, but dwarves aren't that uncommon in Conway's Ferry being so close to Katahdin. You've heard the name kicked around a lot over the years. You don't remember anything about the guy, though.
Okay. I feel like I'm not well versed on this Cena character. I think
That's
I might
why.
even hate her a little bit.
Well, no, see, that's why I feel like it'd be better for you to go, because if you guys Willem can disguise himself, and you can probably make yourself look reasonably different compared to me and Dunk. Exactly. Uncanny.
Who is he?
So if
Who the fuck
somehow
you
you...
just let in the tiny hut?
No one can get... Oh my god, they were here the whole time. No one can get in unless I
All's
say
coming
something.
from inside the house.
Oh god. Well, see, because Cena knows... I feel like Cena will be able to look over you two the best if you're reasonably disguised. And also, I'm
Not
pretty sure she hates me.
not
So...
one known for disguises, but I guess I'll lean on Willem here.
Well, last time I did a disguise, all you guys were angry about it. Just saying.
Just
I
do a
think...
better one.
Yeah, don't do the person who murdered me.
Okay, well, how would you feel if I were to try to look like Hanson Dady?
That's an even worse idea.
Okay.
Just look like a random person.
Who
Just
was the
any
guy?
person.
Who was the guy that you were about to go on that date with at like Red Wine's estate?
Yeah, look like that guy.
One of
Look
the
like
random cards.
Dinky. Just look like Dinky.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't like
Dinky.
Dinky very much.
Yeah, look like him.
This is the cult of Hans and Deity, is it
You
not?
don't have to look like somebody that you
Oh
know.
yeah, that's the whole point. Is like if I look like Hanson Dady, maybe they'll respect me, and then maybe also Cena would be a little bit angry, and maybe I'd have to answer some difficult questions. But I could
I
get
think
in
this
there.
Please, please don't do this.
I
Please
think this
don't
is
do
a
that.
great plan.
Please. Please don't do that.
Why would I
All
though,
we
as
need to
like
do...
some random guy, be able to get in?
No, I'm not saying get in. I'm just saying get information. And that way, if something goes wrong, Cena's not going to immediately recognize me and Dunk. She might be able to look over you guys.
Wave 1, I go in. I get some information. Wave 2, Hans and
Waves?
Deity goes in, takes control of the situation.
We're just trying to get information.
Information
We're trying
and
to
then
Yojimbo
control.
this.
And then
You know the
control.
famous stage play Yojimbo?
I've
There's
never
also
heard of
an...
Yojimbo.
Oh, maybe it's just a fake thing. There's a material plane adaptation called Fistful of Dollars.
Ah, now that I've heard of.
Yeah, that kind of seems like your whole thing.
Oh man. Okay.
We
So-
probably should have planned this out better, huh?
We're planning it right now.
I love improv.
Okay, we just need to get information so we know what to do next.
Yeah.
So it's a no on looking like Hanson Dady.
Please
We'll
don't
start
look like
with
Hans
phase
Dady.
1 and reconvene. How about that?
Yeah, I think once it comes time to like infiltrate, the Hanson Dady thing is actually a pretty good idea. But for right now, somebody that's a little less recognizable might be easier to.
Just look like Dinky. If you have to look like somebody that you know, just look like Dinky.
I'll pick somebody, but it's not going to be Dinky.
What about what was your old friend's name? Randy?
Oh, very don't look like Randy. Absolutely
It was
don't
a bad
look like
idea to
Randy.
look like Randy. Also, he was 8 feet tall.
He
Very
was.
noticeable.
Ah,
Really a bad idea to look like Randy, but kind of funny, but not good for the plan. No, no
Please,
Randy.
I swear to God.
We're 80 feet to Randy. It's not happening.
I swear to Faye God.
I'll figure it out when I get there.
Oh my God. Okay, just get information so we can figure out how we can, like, pit these people against each other.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Sleep time?
Let's get it over with. See you in the
Right.
morning.
Get sleeping over with?
Yes. And also this. This
Should
plan.
somebody keep watch?
I'll keep watch first.
No. I'll keep watch. Laserhawk.
Okay, then you can wake me up for second watch?
Willem collapses to sleep, be exhausted emotionally and physically and spiritually, probably as well.
I'll just pull a little blanket over him.
Laserhawk, make a perception check.
I also almost consider sending a message to Cena, and I decide against that because it seems also like a bad idea.
I rolled a nat 1.
You're her favorite person, so.
But also there's something I'd like to do.
Okay.
He's gonna poop his pants.
I'm gonna poop my pants. No. So there's are we still kind of close to where Willem had his little episode?
By his parents' house? I mean,
Little
yeah, you're
episode?
the episode. You mean the Grove where he swore a
Yeah.
blood oath? Yes,
Yeah.
you're about 300, 400 yards from there.
We saw like a cabin near there, right?
Did you?
I don't think
I
so.
thought
No,
there was
you
like
were
a
looking.
light.
You were looking for a cabin and did not find one. You saw a light in the forest. It was a fire lit by Talia.
Okay. Then I will just spend some time looking for that house / cabin in the vicinity.
Make a investigation check as you no make a survival check as you attempt to get back to where you were earlier.
7.
It takes you a while. About 2 hours have passed before you
Damn.
finally stumble onto, just kind of groping around in the dark, given your inability to really see well in the quarter moonlight. But inevitably, you stumble onto the clearing. You can tell from the matted bits of blood that have pooled around the stump where Bernard was chained earlier. You see no sign of a cabin, but you know you are back where you were earlier.
I've got like mega dark sight or
Oh,
dark vision.
then you see well.
Like
I
I
thought you
have.
had no dark vision.
No, I do with I have umbral sight.
Ah,
Ooh.
well, either way, it still took you a while to
Yeah.
find it.
Okay.
But my description means nothing.
Then I will simply I will look around.
Okay. Anything in particular you're looking for?
I guess like hag like footprints. Um uh Lights, any kind of maybe smoke
Make an
or
investigation check.
smelling.
Monk?
Yeah.
Can I look for Smunk?
You cannot. You are
I
sleeping.
got a 14.
As you kind of scan the clearing, you pace around a little bit. You start to kind of toss your hands in the air, unable to find anything of substance. And just as you're about to think about giving up, you find a small chain lying in the grass, um, like a chain necklace lying in the grass.
I pick it up. What does it look like?
You hear a faint voice in the back of your head. Oh, I was wondering if someone would come and find my necklace. I am glad that it is you.
Make
Where are you?
And you turn over your shoulder to where you think the voice is coming from, and they kind of step out to the right side and face you. And as you kind of whirl around, you're almost taken aback as Talia stands in front of you, and she goes, "It is quite easier for me to step between the planes, as they say. What brings you back here? You have a change of heart?"
Not a change of heart. Just some clarification is needed, I think.
Well, I believe your companion made it quite clear. He has sworn a blood oath. We are destined to die by his hand. Or so he thinks. You know
I
better,
don't
don't
doubt him.
you?
Before he, kills y'all, I'd like to maybe ask. Ophelia told me, I assume that you know of her, that
My sister, yes, I am familiar with her.
she told me that I could have anything I wanted, given that I give her a small stone and Willem.
You mean the seeing eye?
I do.
I like to take things from her. She gets kind of, well, quite frankly, she's a little bit of a bitch. So I just feel like sometimes I got to take things from her. She sends you to get it back. She's so petty. Uh, do you plan on giving up Willem to her?
If it comes to that. But
What could ever
I
be
don't really
worth it?
care. I don't really care who does it, but I have some things that I'd like to that I'd like to come past.
Which is it? Is it Buster?
Yeah,
Not your little wife? You pick Buster over your wife? I just knew it. Ophelia has seen into your dreams, darling. She's told me all about them. What you say to others is not what you tell yourself, is it?
I didn't ask for some psychoanalyzation here.
No,
What do
I
I need to
suppose you
do?
did not. It depends, darling. What are you asking for? A life returned. There is some magic that is even beyond my control. Unless it is properly compensated.
That's what I'm asking.
What do you think I want?
You hags are all the same. You're all about tricks and getting what you want. I'm sure it's some kind of a weird soul magic. You want a life for a life, I'm sure.
Well, yes, I would like Willem. But I do not think he will come so easily, and the fact of the matter is, I need him to come willingly. So I hope over the next couple of years to sway him in my direction. We can be very persuasive.
Not Willem.
So the question is, what do I want from you? What do you offer? And what do you
What'd you
want?
say? Oh,
What do you want, and what do you offer?
I want Buster back. What'll I do? Well, I'm a bounty hunter at heart. I'll kill anyone you want me to. You like being a bitch? I'll kill your sister.
Well, no, I do not like that, but that is a very tempting offer. No, I think what I ask is actually much simpler. If you want Buster back, this is not that difficult. If we were asking for your wife, that might be a little more complicated, but you are shallower than that, and we will take that at face value.
I'm not.
So, you want Buster back. I am a big fan of this chaos in the city. The fact is, when they're more preoccupied with killing each other, they are less preoccupied with killing me. So, you agree to do whatever possible to prevent your little friends from killing Sigmund, and I will bring Buster back.
Laserhawk kind of like turns around, thinks for a second, takes his hat, runs his hands through his hair, turns back, and he goes, "This town is where I grew up.
Do you really miss it? So many bad things have happened to you here. Poor Buster, your little wife, dead by a bolt to the heart. What has Conway's Ferry done for you that you could not take away from it in an instant by not interfering?
You didn't let me finish. I grew up here, but this is not my home. Not anymore. You got a deal.
She sticks her hand out and she says, Sigmund will not die by you or your friend's hand. And we have an accord.
All right. That sounds simple enough. Weird for a bounty hunter to not kill someone, but I'll take it. And I shake her hand.
You feel this arcane energy just ripple through your hand as you shake hands. Despite the cool touch of her skin and the suppleness of it, it feels almost bone dry and waxy to the touch. And she pulls away and she goes, A pleasure doing business with you. I will be watching carefully. And she disappears in a puff of smoke.
Um, Laserhawk kind of like takes a big stretch and smiles a bit to himself and then walks back.
All
Guys, we
right.
can fix her.
You return to the camp just about the end of your watch and find it untouched. Um, Willem has stepped away, so I will let you wake up Branwen for her watch.
I'll do it. I'll nudge her and I'll say, it's time for your watch.
Yeah. Do I notice anything off about Laserhawk?
Make an insight check.
I'm making a disadvantage because I just woke up and it feels right.
Down with that.
Beep, 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 beep. 17.
He definitely seems off. I'm not going to have Laserhawk roll for anything here. Just going to say he seems off, but you haven't really gotten to know
Could be
him well
anything.
enough to detect when or why he might be a little off.
Okay.
You head off for your watch, Willem.
I
As
can't leave
you,
the hut though, so I'm just looking out.
that's fine. You are immediately aware of Willem twitching and shaking in his sleep. Willem, as you lie there in the cold or warm embrace of the tiny hut, but the outside air cool. You are dreaming, per se. It feels very real and lifelike. The streets of Trowood before you. Um, Everything is kind of bathed in this otherworldly twilight, as though not quite day, not quite night. You find yourself kind of wandering through this twisted version of Trowood, which isn't uncharacteristic of a dream. It feels like you've been there before, but at the same time a bit unfamiliar. Um, you feel the birds squawking, or you hear the birds squawking in the kind of subtle lapping of the bay against the shore and the docks. Um,
I don't
but
like that.
the air begins to thicken. You hear almost like whispers in your ear that seem to mock your every step. You see your compatriots ahead of you, Gwen amongst them, kind of chatting amongst themselves. What do you do?
I approach them.
As you approach closer, you hear your name kind of mumbled between them. Branwen specifically and Gwen are kind of talking to one another and mentioning you by name, but you can't quite make out what they're saying.
Is it a cheery conversation?
Make an investigation check.
Which character should I be using, Chris?
Willem, original Willem, OG.
Original Willem.
Yeah.
Investigation would be a 15.
Okay. You can very clearly hear there's almost like malice in their voice. They're not speaking of you kindly.
Uh, I'm gonna walk up and go, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
Gwen turns to talk to you. A smile kind of dances across her face as you approach. One by one, all of your compatriots kind of turn to look upon you. But suddenly the ground gives way beneath you as you become so accustomed to in these dreams, as you enter into a perpetual descent, falling once again into the abyss. The fall endless, the wind screaming past your ears until finally you land gently in a dark abyss. You feel as though you're surrounded by a shadow of trees and almost like a ghost of a forest. But in the center, no longer the stump that you've come to expect from these visions, but rather a trio of women. Two you recognize clearly, the other shrouded in shadow. You haven't come to know their face yet. Their forms shift and change, their beauty giving way to grotesque figures that dance around you, and one by one they look to you, and they cry out, their fingers pointed at you, and they shout at you, Hag spawn, hag spawn, death will become you. And the world shifts again, and you're forced to witness these macabre scenes of death, your friends flayed and spread out across a forest, blood and their innards spilled out across the floor the forest clearing, until finally you wake, unable to get a long rest, and your hit point maximum decreased by 5.
Oof.
Was I able
Really?
to wake up Willem at any point if it seems like he's having a spooky dream?
You can attempt to, but all attempts fail to do so. You make an Arcana check.
Oh, I'm not good at this. 10.
You get the sense that this is no ordinary nightmare, but you're unable to discern anything beyond that.
Okay.
Is it the morning time yet?
It is indeed the morning time.
When Willem wakes up, I'm staring at him looking genuinely concerned.
What?
Something's wrong with you.
You had a
Yeah,
very hard night last night.
I had a very hard day. Yes. You know, fucking hag dreams.
You wouldn't
Shit.
wake up.
Yeah. I was trapped in a
I woke up
nightmare.
Laserhack trying to wake you up.
Yeah. I was
Sorry,
having a
Laserhawk.
nightmare, and all of you were there, and then it was like not cool. And then I was in the middle of a circle of dark trees, and there's grotesque hags. You know, Talia and Ophelia were there, and they were pointing at me like, "Hag spawn! Everyone you love is gonna die." And this isn't the first time this has happened, and I need to see what can be done about that. And if you know anything, or you think Elray might know anything, I would be much obliged to know.
I
Those
feel
are
like you
just
need a
hag dreams,
church.
boy. Those hag dreams will go away once we kill them. You know.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna be, and it sort of prevents me from really getting a rest before I could do that.
I
And
feel like maybe you should.
I have some bad news for you all. Um, I was not able to get the benefits of a rest, which means I cannot disguise myself.
Oh,
Shit.
um,
Okay, new plan.
we swap clothes.
Sure.
Dunk, you're not wearing anything.
Well, maybe you should
Yeah.
look for a church, like a temple, like some kind of divine thing.
See, I have all sorts of feelings about that because all my life I've been indebted to creatures who gave me my powers and I didn't know about it. And if I get that from a god, it just feels like the same thing. I want to be my own man. I'm not beholden to the will of a
Okay.
higher power.
You hear Bernard
I mean,
chime
your
in.
current.
Yeah, you hear Bernard chime in from the back and says, If you're haunted by the dreams of a hag, then you are beholden to a higher power, son.
Yeah, oh my god, Chris, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Willem
I
is
can
gonna
give you
turn
a
around
I'm
and
like,
point
this
to the
guy.
quarter like, do not like that you are making sense. Are you telling me that I need fantasy Jesus?
You need fantasy Jesus. Just
Y'all, I think with the current situation being what it is, I really think that Willem and I should go with the Sigmund group, and y'all should go and talk to Cena, seeing as how you have any rapport with her.
no, it's oh god. Okay, every time I try to talk to her, I think I just make things worse.
Correct.
Correct.
So I don't see how this is helpful.
Branwyn,
He hates me.
you can tell Willem and Nolan were about to say something mean, but decided not to.
You were gonna say just like I don't know.
Just say every time you talk to anybody, it makes everything worse.
And do you know what Brian would do? Agree with you.
Yeah. Okay.
There, I can. Maybe this will help, and I'm gonna try to give Willem some spell slots back. A spell slot back.
Oh, I do not need. Well, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I have not expended any spell slots technically because I get to do something once per long rest. So
oh, I understand. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's not
yeah.
Willem, go find fantasy
Dang.
Jesus.
Fantasy Jesus is our only hope now.
Chris, what's the closest thing to fantasy Jesus they got in Conway's Ferry?
In terms of places that
Like
you
probably a
know
lot.
are temples of gods, you would know that Conway's Ferry is home to many places of worship. However, two temples make up like the core foundational faith in the city, and that is the Temple of Thalor, the god of the mountains and justice of the gods, and the Temple of Elowin, the river song.
Okay. Well,
One of those sounds so much cooler than the other.
it's the river, right? Who doesn't love water?
I love water.
Willem is considering things. Um, he looks at Bernard and goes, are people allowed to visit Thalor's temple given the current situation?"
To be honest, I don't know. Can't imagine they don't have it under watch, but the way the cult has really been acting is that like it's business as usual, but you're paying for business as usual.
Okay. Would anybody like to go to church with me?
You know what? Maybe Dunk should go with you.
No, I was just thinking I could use some Jesus, some
Yeah.
Phalor.
Oh no, is it? It sounds like we swapped the teams.
Yep.
What, pray tell, am I doing during all of this?
Oh fuck if I know.
You're gonna lay
This-
right the fuck there.
Do you think that if you
You
talk
could
to
be helpful in any
anybody
way.
and let them know that we were planning to do something about the cult, that you might be able to encourage anybody to take up arms or offer some form of resistance?
And I could try to see if any of the other council members are alive, but well, I could chat
You know,
with
just
Jorah.
gauge interest.
He's a rat. I'm pretty sure he's gotten in with both the cultists and the townsfolk, so if anyone could tell us if what we were planning was a good move, it'd be him.
Yeah. And if you talk to Jorah, what's the odds that he just sells us out and fucks the whole thing up?
I'm pretty fucking high, but you guys could just get out of Dodge.
We
Or
could.
stay and die for all I care.
Should one of us? Oh God, we can't do a three-way party split. That's too much.
Willem will go see Jesus alone if you want that to happen.
No, I feel like maybe they could help Dunk though. You know.
I mean,
We're just getting recon anyway, right? We can
Yeah,
go.
yeah. We're only reconning.
If
Right.
you go get Cena, I can go get Sigmund.
Oh, why am I getting Cena?
Cause I fucking hate her. I do not want to see her. She stole
Cena's sweet.
Gumthorium.
Cena
I have a
doesn't really
I
have much
have a
problem with
suggestion.
me.
I say Dunk goes and looks for Cena
Yeah, Cena probably doesn't
because
really have a problem.
Dunk and Cena don't have any negative chemistry as far as we know, and they're both been manipulated and been part in a larger game by Fey entities, and maybe they could bond over that.
Okay.
I sit there and think about all the times I've been manipulated by Fey entity.
Yeah, well, she doesn't like you already, so that's a non-starter.
God.
All right.
So what's the plan?
Okay.
Where am I going?
The plan is Dunk is gonna go see Cena. I'm gonna go see Sigmund. And Branwyn, you can I don't know, do what you want. You're a free woman.
And I'm going to church.
Okay.
Four-way party split. Four-way party split.
Oh, this stresses me out.
Okay, so Branwyn, what are you doing?
I deal with the rest of them first.
All right, we're gonna roll a
You
d4.
could always
Willem,
come with one of us.
Branwyn's number 1, Willem's number 2, Laserhawk's number
Oh, I'll
3,
just go
and
with Dunk.
Dunk's number
I'll just go with
4.
Dunk, and I'll hide and out. I'll stay outside.
All right, Dunk, you are first. Where are you going?
Um, I'm gonna head back into the tavern, I think,
The Oxbow.
and yeah, the Oxbow, and see if I can find anybody that might have seen a strange woman ride through.
I'm gonna go Assassin's Creed style, blend in outside, and just eavesdrop on
Okay.
anyone that might be passing by.
Okay. Are either of you planning on stealthing into the city, or Bramlin, are you just stealthing once you get to
I would like
the?
to stealth.
Yeah, we can stealth. Maybe we can stealth like into the city to try
Yeah.
to like cover up where we're coming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so I'll have both of you roll stealth checks.
I'm pretty good.
17.
21.
Okay. The two of you are able to easily get back into the city. The silence is almost tangible, hanging heavy in the air as you kind of pass through the few deserted blocks before reaching the doorway of the Oxbow Inn. You can continue to hear the Chanock River rushing by, the powerful sound of its currents, kind of a stark contrast to the silence and the general stillness that envelops the town. Um, Branwen, you kind of blend straight into the surroundings, tucking back into the very same alleyway where you originally hid yourself. While Dunk, you head into the tavern and find two familiar faces in the bartender who was there yesterday, as well as your companion who you met last week. Sorry, let me pull up my notes here. Who now continues to have a fresh stack of bowls in front of him. Like he clearly has gone home, slept for the night, and returned to begin an all day gorging session. Um, and beyond that, there are also two other figures in the room chatting at a table um, over breakfast, but you do not recognize them.
I'm gonna sit down next to my buddy, and
Back!
I couldn't leave this soup alone. So
Sure,
I'm gonna
it is something special.
I'm gonna order a bowl for me and my boy.
Well done, well done. what can I do for you? Did you find what you were looking for yesterday?
Oh, bit bit of this, bit of that, but not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I am, however, uh, I heard something about this strange woman coming into town. Y'all,
Means woman. Must have been my wife.
wives. Um, but no, she's kind of a scary looking lady, human, uh, roughly my age.
I
Short
don't
white
know how old
hair.
you are, son. I've never seen your kind in these parts. But I'm grateful to make an acquaintance.
Well, she would have been on a beautiful horse.
I
Um,
A white horse.
Unfortunately, I spend most of my time here, and I help with the unloading of boxes in the back. So not really a great street purveyor or observer. Can't say I've seen many young girls with white hair.
hmm. Well, if you hear anything, or if you hear anything about some of the goings on around town,
Well, the
maybe
city's overrun with
reports.
cult fucks.
Uh, if you hear anything about these cult fucks,
Right. Well, you might want to watch your
reports.
tongue. I don't mind if I don't make it to see tomorrow because of my wife. No, but I would prefer that you didn't mention me by name if you're talking to any of those cult fucks.
Not a problem.
The barmaid kind of brings over the pair of bowls for you, and he kind of just he sinks in his seat, um, and make an insight check.
Inside joke, he hates his wife.
Uh, that is a 10.
He looks a little disheartened as of the conversation. While he seems jovial and like tries to kind of like let things roll off of him, you could tell this might be impacting him more than he lets on.
Mm.
Branwen, make a stealth check as you stand outside.
And
As you kind of perch yourself up against
wait, I have
the,
advantage because am I hiding? Kind of?
you're leaning against the corner of an alleyway.
Fuck. Okay.
Um, and as you kind of continue to lean there in a exact same place that you were the night prior, you hear a voice call out, "Oi! Been a while since we've had strangers here on Remsen Street. What brings you to Conway's Ferry yesterday and today, love?" And three figures approach you from further down the alley that you're standing in. You immediately recognize them as the same trio that walked by you yesterday when you were far more stealthy. Two of them boast the characteristic icy blue robes of the cultist, while the third, the voice that called out to you, has hers kind of fastened atop shimmering half plate, clearly brand new. Her hair is kind of shaven down on one side, the rest braided and left to hang over her right shoulder. And you can hear the clanging of a hammer that dangles from a loop on her belt. She's, "What you doing here, love?"
I heard the stew's really good.
"Stew's inside, and it's jack shit. So why don't you go ahead and tell us why you're really here?"
Oh gosh, I'm trying to figure out. I'm on the fence on how to play this.
"It's 10 gold to loiter."
Is it really? Is that inflation? Heard it's only
"Protection
3 gold in
costs."
Trowood.
Gotta keep the city safe. Cultists about. We want to keep it dangerous.
Mhm.
We're here to protect you, love.
I'm looking for a horse. White horse.
And I'm looking for a good man.
You find one?
Stop by the stables if you're interested in a horse. It's 10 gold to stand. She kind of sticks her hand out, and the other drifts down to her hammer.
Oh God, I don't actually. All of my money's with dog.
So unless you
Uh,
want a fine right beating, you'll pay up.
fuck it. You know Cena?
That bitch. Haven't seen her in months.
Haven't seen her in months.
I say that.
She kind of
What are your
stares at
thoughts
you
on it?
and blinks for a second. Just Cena. That's a good one. What was that? What are my thoughts on her? I think she's a
Yeah.
pretentious, stuck-up little bitch that got too close to Daddy, and so now she thinks that she's all that, and she's the boss of everybody. But we know what she really is: a street urchin with no parents.
Oh, that's way harsh.
Well, you gotta make your own in this world. And just because we weren't lucky enough to get kidnapped by some cultist doesn't mean that we should be looked down upon by her.
Why are you speaking so negatively of your own cult?
Kind of shifts a little bit and looks back at the two people behind her. Just, I'm not. Just the people who think they run it. We got ourselves a good
Who thinks they
operation
run
here.
it? Is Dady not here? I thought he was the big man in town.
What do you know about Hanson Davy?
Heard his name here and there.
Have you heard his name
I've heard
here
a
and
lot
there?
of
It
people
seems like you
describe
know a
him
little
as
bit
an
more about him.
insect.
Insect. He's the one
Yeah.
we all look up to. The one that we
Hmm.
are sworn to serve. Haven't seen him in a bit. Just means he's on his way.
So who's in charge now?
It depends on who you ask, love. You're asking a lot of questions for someone who hasn't paid their fee. And she gets really close to you and kind of she does like the romance novel thing, but it's like not that
Oh
romantic. It's
my
just like
God.
really intimately close. And she's so unless we want to paint this alley in your blood, I suggest you pay up.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've only got 4 gold.
It's a shame. Mighty fine sword you got there, though. How about we take that off your hands and call it even?
I send a quick message to Dunk. Can I borrow 6 gold real quick?
Hey, hey, buddy, could you wash my soup for a second?
Sure, sure.
Sorry, just
Are
a
you doing
second.
that
I'm like, this
stealthily?
goes.
There is a like a physical component to casting sending, right?
I pretend to sneeze.
Make a deception check.
Oh man. Oh shit, that was really good. 24.
Oh God, cover your mouth, love.
Sorry.
Um,
I sneezed in my cloak. God.
as Dunk comes out, she kind of recoils a little bit just by the sheer size, and her hand glances down to her hammer, and she throws her hands. And goes, to you. Looks like the price just went up. It's 20 gold now. She puts her hand out.
See, when you said earlier that we know quite a lot about the cult, we are from out of town. We came here for you guys. We're trying to suss it out, see if you're the real deal, or if everything's just a whole lot of bullshit. And you're really not selling it to us right now.
You trying to join the ranks? No open spots, love. And quite frankly, I'm getting a little nervous talking to you. Got me thinking that maybe you'd be better talking to somebody else.
Like who?
Somebody. Well, I could think of a few people, but it's really just the locale that needs to change. Do you need to talk to somebody else?
Look at Dunk.
Definitely don't need to talk to you.
That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. Put them in chains. And she
Oh
kind of
no,
turns
we
around
messed up. We messed up immediately.
as the two
I panicked.
brutish looking cloaked figures come up behind you and manacle your arms together. Are you going willingly or are you
Oh
Um,
no. Wait, what did you say?
uh,
Let's go. Let's just go.
no, I'm
Let's
gonna
set.
I'm gonna turn around and just punch the nearest guy in the face.
Okay, I will have the two of you roll
Oh,
initiative.
We messed up immediately.
Oh
Oh
fuck!
no!
This
Oh, wait, hang on.
plan, it's all collapsing. Our non-plan.
I
And Branwen and Dunk, you can join the owl bear.
Oh
forgot about the
no.
owlbear.
right to jail, by
I
the way.
panicked. I'm sorry.
You should probably just run away.
I'm almost saying like we just go with it and then escape.
Kill him.
Or maybe this is our fast track to talk to Cena. You know?
In what way?
They don't
I
even know
don't know.
Tina's here.
Yeah, maybe Cena will hear you
Like
fighting.
what? Maybe she
Maybe
will.
Tina's not here.
God. I
Sorry,
beefed
one
it,
second.
y'all. I'm just
Branwen, what did you roll for initiative?
16?
Okay. Dunk?
14.
Okay. All
This is
right.
very
So it is the woman's turn, the one who's talking to Branwen, and she's going to see you, Dunk, attempt to flail out. So I'll give you a surprise punch, and then we'll fall into our normal initiative order. So you can roll to hit the person who is closest to you. So let me actually put you so these guys are kind of actually behind you. So you can turn around and punch the person next to you.
This might be dumb, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna rage. And I'm gonna hit Brent.
You
We really
rage
messed this
and
up, y'all.
none of this is surprising, even a little bit. You rage and you can roll to punch.
There it is. Okay.
I'm really proud of this as the person who was like, Chris, we have a plan, I swear.
For context, for those watching at home, they spent the last week in a private Discord thread planning their next move, and then today I saw no plan.
There was a
Hold on.
loose
Sorry, the
plan.
owlbear is loading. But
It was
anyway,
a
a flump
blob.
is gonna appear.
The flump.
And what? The flump is going to appear? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it within one creature of my choice that I can see within 30 feet of me. Are there like two people next to me?
There's one person immediately next to you.
Okay. Um, then I'll have the flump appear like by him, but like on the other side of me, and it'll explode. Um,
Okay.
oh wait, no, at the end of my current turn. Okay, well then that's great.
Okay, so we'll say that you rage and you are throwing a punch. The flump appears, but on your actual turn, so you're getting a bonus here to throw a.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's 20, dirty 20 to hit.
Okay. Roll
For 6
damage.
damage. It's just 6 damage.
Okay. Perfect.
And extra attack.
No, so you're getting one punch, and then you'll have your full turn when it's your turn in the initiative. Yeah. So just a moment. All right, so it is now the woman's turn, and she will lash out and kind of charge at you, Dunk.
Is she
And
leaving?
she,
You said that she was right next to me doing the really the rom com
sh-
lean
she
in.
was, but she backed away to enable you to
Damn
be
it.
arrested. And now she is.
Oh my god, she wasn't even gonna arrest me herself. That's so
No, she's letting her
innocent.
underlings do that. And she is going to
I thought I
strike at
had something.
you with their hammer. Wow, I'm not kidding you. That's a nat 20. Um,
Silvery barbs.
so
Screw you.
all right, fair enough. All right, the second attack misses, but they will strike at you again. And are you hit by a 19?
Yes.
Okay, so that is going to be 10 damage, as well as
Not
the
bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, right?
it is bludgeoning actually.
Oh, I get resistance to that.
However, as the attack strikes you in your side, she just kind of lashes out at you with the hammer, and it collides into your rib cage, and your entire body jolts with electricity as you take an additional 3 lightning damage from the strike. That is their turn. Branwyn, it's your turn. So you have a person right on you attempting to shackle you, or just about to shackle you.
Beans. Old person on no, I'm gonna do shit. Oh gosh. I am gonna cast silence centered on the center of this alleyway. So it's a 40-foot sphere all around us so that they cannot call for help. So
And
basically no one's
also
gonna be able to
can't.
know that this is happening.
Okay, and they also can't cast spells with verbal components, correct?
Correct. And neither can I.
All right. I actually have new things for this now in Owlbear, if I can find it.
So this whole fight is happening with absolutely zero sound effects, and it is cool as hell.
So Bramlin is now concentrating on a spell, and this entire alleyway is indeed. Oh, here we go. There it is.
Why did you give us that information now, Nolan?
I was trying not to be disruptive.
Sorry, I have to move this circle. There we go. All right. Well, we know that the circle is there. All right. Are you doing anything else with your turn? Okay. Dunk. It is now your full turn.
Um, the guy that was trying to manacle me, I'm
Mhm.
going to attempt to grapple him.
Okay.
Um, so my athletics against his whatever, either athletics or uh, acrobatics.
Okay. It'll be athletics. Go ahead and roll.
16.
Fortunately, that does not. You do not grapple.
Dang. I'm gonna do it again with my second action, my second attack.
Okay.
15.
It does. You do grapple them.
Yes. All right. Um, and then as like, let's see, as like a a bonus action, can I pull my dagger and like hold it to his throat and like yell at the other guard? Or is that too many things?
You can yell, but it's not gonna make a noise.
Yeah, you were
I forgot.
technically
Just
silenced.
silenced. Okay, never mind.
Yes.
Then I'm just gonna hold on to him, and my flump will explode.
Okay. You will also take the damage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
See something on my something until my flump explodes.
That's good. That's good.
Good. This is a very collaborative group session. Half
Succeed on
the
a
party
dexterity
isn't here.
saving throw, which is
They rolled the nat 20.
oh
Did you,
okay. Well, he
did you
passes.
roll on my crit till I flump?
Okay.
8 plus.
Doing it for the kids.
If you explode on my flump till I rage. She rage on my flump till I explode.
Well, I also
How much
pass, so
damage?
nothing happens.
Wait, she.
Okay.
Nothing happens. We both passed the check, so nothing happens.
All right.
Say it.
It is now the person attempting to grapple Branwen's turn. And because they
no.
are silenced, they are just going to try and do that. So make a contested athletics check.
I did something good?
Yeah.
Oh boy. 13?
Unfortunately, they also rolled a 13, so you are now grappled.
This is going poorly.
In like a rom-com kind of way, though.
He like stuck her. She put her. He put you in a full Nelson.
Oh, that's like humiliating.
Yeah. And it is now the individual who Dunk has been attacking's turn, and they are going to attempt to. They're not even going to try to break out of their grapple. They're just going to stab you with the dagger that they're
Yeah,
holding.
that's fair.
Wait, let me look up rules. Grappling. 5.
No, it's just grappling is actually the worst. Your movement speed's just 0, and that's it.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Yeah. But you guys do it all the time.
There's like the
Once you're
combo that you gotta
grappled,
get is the grappled and prone.
right? Exactly.
But I didn't get that. So
Yes. So are you hit by an 18?
yeah, that'll do it.
All right, so they're going to be
That'll
stabbing at you,
do.
and that is 8 damage. And they will attempt to do it again, but I assume you're not hit by a 14.
No.
Okay. That is their turn. However, they're going to cry out. They can't cry out. They're silenced.
I did it!
You did it. All right. It is now the person who's still beating the other shaved head woman. And she is going to attempt to strike at you with her hammer. That is a 23. So that is. That's not that bad, actually. That is 4 bludgeoning damage and another 3 lightning. And they will attack again, but they miss. And it is now Branwen's turn.
How you dunking?
Hmm?
How are you dunking? How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm raging, so I have resisted a lot of this damage, so it's okay.
Can I stab this guy?
Sure.
I do it.
Roll to hit.
I don't have like disadvantage or anything?
No, you're just grappled.
That's silly. Stab, stab, stab. Fuck my life. Oh, nothing's looking up Bronwyn. That's a 12. No, 13.
That is enough to hit.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna roll for.
This
I have 2
person is
attacks, so I'm
just
gonna roll for
wearing
the other one.
robes. Okay.
And the other one is higher than that. So that's 15. Okay. That is a 8 damage and another 8 damage.
So 16 total damage.
Mm-hmm. And
right.
wait. Hap-a-da-bap-bap-bap-bap. Never mind.
All right. Dunk, it is your turn.
I'm gonna attempt to shove this guy to the ground. So let's see, shoving is also I think
Contested
shove is
strength.
just an attack, yeah. That is a 15.
Fortunately, he is a pretty tough nut, and you are unable to shove him.
Dang. I'll use my extra attack to do it. Fuck, this is... Okay, that's a
To
little bit better.
what?
21.
You're attempting to shove again?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you shoving them to the ground or shoving them away from you?
I'm gonna shove him... I'm gonna shove him into the other... the shaved head lady.
So they're flanking you. One's in front of you and one's behind you. So you can't, unless
Right.
you can move around them and incur an attack of opportunity. But you would be shoving one of them away from you and not toward the other.
Oh, okay. Well, then to the ground.
Okay. All right. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna... let's see. Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm gonna summon another flump on the other side of the shaved head lady. That's if she needs to pass a DC 14 dexterity check.
All right. She fails. How much damage
Ha!
does she take?
1d6.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
That is 1 damage.
She got
Okay.
flumped.
Lump.
All right. Are you doing
How does
anything
the
else with your
flump
turn?
want to do
No,
this?
that's it.
Okay. It is now the person who's attacking Branwen's turn. And they are going to attempt to stab you with their dagger.
Rude.
Are you hit by a 14?
No.
All right. But you are hit by a nat 20.
Yeah.
So that is 4 damage plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10 damage. And I'll have you make a
Oh.
constitution saving throw.
Chi mama. That's a
You
total
rolled
of 2.
Okay, your concentration is broken and the silence effect wears off.
Shit.
And they will spend a free action to shout and say, "Get these in people in chains." And it is now the second person who Dunk pushed to the ground. They will spend their movement standing up and attempt to swing at you with their short sword, Dunk. Are you hit by a 24?
Yeah.
That is going to be 6 damage. And they will strike again and miss.
How you dunking?
Do Willem or Laserhawk hear any of this, by the way, or are we just far away?
You're in a completely different part of town. We will get
Yep.
to you in a moment.
I'm sorry.
It is now the shaved head woman's turn. Dunk, you may take an attack of opportunity against her as she is going to shift over to Branwen.
Nat 1.
All right, you lash out with your great axe, and it cracks into the stone and actually gets stuck in the stone of the street. And she kind of looks over her shoulder and chuckles as she works her way over to Branwen and says, "Couldn't come quietly, love, eh?" and she's going to roll to strike her and hit a 21. That is 9 bludgeoning damage and 3 additional lightning damage. She will take a pause before striking again and say, "You surrender?"
Dunk, what should we do?
No, love. Look at me. Do you surrender?
Oh.
And she rolls a 16 to hit.
Yeah, fine. Yes, that also hits.
She's going to spring her hammer down and then pause. You see the hurtling steel, your blood ride on the edges of the warhammer as it comes hurtling down towards your face, and she
I don't
freezes.
flinch.
You can see the flexing blood veins in her muscles as she pauses just before bringing it down into your face and goes, "Smart girl. Put them in chains." And as long as neither of you resist, you are placed in irons and as you're kind of stood up from the two of them, she's going to come over and walk over to you, Bramwin, and kind of put her finger underneath your chin and pull it up and goes, "Who are you?"
So much sexual tension.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
She's going to smirk and hit you with the side of her elbow, kind of like bring
Yeah, that
her elbow
tracks.
up into your chin. And then she's going to say, "Blindfold them," and they're going to cover your heads in sacks
Oh, I'm
and
so
start marching
sorry,
you
everyone.
down the street. Let's roll a dice. 1 is Willem, 2 is Laserhawk. Laserhawk, where are you
I'm
going?
sorry.
Me?
Yes.
My goal is to find Sigmund, so I'm going to go to the center of town and find some cultists.
Okay. You know the
Or
center of
actually,
town to be. Go
is
ahead.
there anywhere that like I would know to be a seedier place that's like not the Oxbow?
Seedier place, like you're looking for like a seedy tavern.
Yeah,
There
where some like
is.
not my friends, but people who I would know would hang around.
Sure, the seediest place you probably know is the Rusty Ford. Um, and it's like probably a step above the Oxbow. The Oxbow is definitely the seediest tavern you know in terms of like the people who are there.
Yeah,
But the Rusty Ford is one that is available to you.
I will go there then.
Okay. The Rusty Ford is on the western side of town, so it is over the bridge, and not too far from the Drum Mill, which you know to be kind of like the epicenter of town. Are you doing so stealthily, or are you kind of gonna go walking accordingly?
I will try not to draw attention to myself.
Okay. I'll say that you walk similar to how saw others walking about. Like you're not doing so sneakily, but you are doing so, without trying to draw too much attention to yourself. You pace through the town and you cross over one of the smaller bridges. So there are 3 main bridges across the river, and you cross over one of the smaller bridges on the north end of town. Um, sorry, I lost my notes here. It is a thinner bridge, only about 2 cart lengths across. Um, and it's a pretty narrow affair, and it is actually almost pretty slick with the water that is churning up from the river below. Make a perception check as you cross.
13.
Okay. You are able to notice as you walk across that there are a lot of like almost like tied little ribbons on some of the um, slats of the wooden bridge that are blue in color. Um, are you stopping, or are you proceeding straight to the Rusty Ford?
I guess I'll stop. Those ribbons, they're not. They weren't there. Like I don't recognize them there. They're not usually there.
No, it's a bit unusual. You haven't seen things like this before.
You said they're tied to like the slats in the wood.
Of the bridge, yeah, like the kind of like the name escapes me at the moment, but the railing, and there are wooden slats that connect the railing to the bridge itself, and there are tiny blue ribbons wrapped around them at different intervals.
Um, can I touch one of the slats that has the ribbon on it? Is there anything
Sure,
like
roll an investigation check.
okie dokie? 12.
Yeah, you take your hand and you kind of run them up and down the slat, and as your hand meets the ribbon, you push up on it a little bit, and your finger grazes over grooves in the wood that the ribbon appears to be covering.
Can I look at the grooves?
Sure, as you inspect the grooves, you get the sense that there's some kind of message here. There are three fine grooves in the slat, and then one across them. Um, so four in total. You don't understand it, but this your close inspection definitely gives you the sense that it is indeed intentional.
Okay. Um, can I like tell what they say at all?
No, you're unable to really discern like what it might mean.
Okay. Um, I guess I will move on.
As you cross over the bridge and make your way deeper into the western side of town, you don't find many people that pass you. Um, are you looking at people, or are you just kind of head down, moving along?
Just kind of head down, moving along. You know, if people are, I would like to note if like people are moving like homogeneously in a single direction. Is that
Okay.
happening at all?
Make a perception check.
Okay. 22.
Sure. You don't see any cultists. Most of the people that you're walking past are townsfolk. You do see a handful of people moving towards the bridge, but that's not out of the realm of possibility for your time, given that like people work on the western side of the city of the river and then go back to the east side of the city to where their homes are.
And do I recognize anybody?
You do recognize one individual who you saw walking alone. You know her to be a high priestess at the Temple of Elowin, but you were never much for really going to church. You just know that she is a priestess.
Can I quickly kind of approach her and say, "Hey, I know we don't talk much. I'm not really one for church business, but
Blessings, child. What brings you here today?
I'm just looking for some information. I think things have I look back and forth have changed slightly since I've been here last.
All is not well in Conway's Ferry, but Elowin will shine her good graces upon us, though that name is not welcome here right now. So I trust you mind your tongue.
You bet. Uh, I got two questions. First of all, do you know where I could find Sigmund? I'd like to have a word with him.
And Elwyn, forgive me, but that wretched man has holed himself up in the drum mill. It is where he rules the western side of the city.
Thank you for telling me. And second of all, I couldn't help but notice that on the bridge there's some strange grooves, some ribbons. Do you know anything about that?
What is your name, dear boy?
Name's Scraft Gumption.
And the gods, do you claim one of them as your own? Or are you a follower of Sigmund's?
I'm not a follower of Sigmund's.
But you claim none of the gods as your own?
Can't say I do.
Fair enough. We are all children in their eyes. Some day we find one that calls to us. She gets in closer. The grooves are how we communicate. There are a few of us that are trying to, well, we know we can't beat them, but we can help the poorest among us, those who have lost family members already. The grooves indicate the street. And as she talks to you, you know that the streets in Conway's Ferry on the eastern side of town run completely parallel to one another with just a few perpendicular roads.
Okay.
So it would be very easy to count down from the north and go down to the street in question. She goes, and the ribbons, well, we look for them on those streets and they tell us that those are the people who need help. We get them goods, we get them out of town. We we do what we can.
Y'all are doing good work. Thanks for telling me. I'll be sure to pass it along to those who need it.
She grabs your hand as you attempt to leave. She goes, I recognize you, but it's been a while. What brings you back to Conway's Ferry?
Got some business I'd like to finish up.
I hope you're here to help us, Graft Gumption.
I hope so too.
Thank you. And she gives you a curt nod and goes on her way.
And at that, I'm going to head straight for Dram's Mill?
The drum mill.
The drum mill.
Yes. All right, you are headed to the drum mill. While you progress there, Willem, you are headed to the Temple of Thalor.
Taylor, correct.
Foul
The foul
All
lord.
right. You do. I'll have you make a history check to see how well you remember getting there,
Am
because
I
it has
still
been some
old
time
Willem?
since you've been. What?
Am I
Yes, you're
old
still
Willem or
old
new
Willem.
Willem? Okay. That's gonna be
You're old Willem.
3.
Okay. It takes you some time to navigate the city. And because of this, you end up skipping a fair portion of the best route through the city, which would have potentially enabled you to find your friends in a combative fray. But you end up kind of snaking around the town and end up before the Great Bridge at the center of the town, with the drum mill on the opposite end of the bridge. The Great Bridge, as you remember it, crosses over the Chinook River at its widest and strongest point, which is exactly why the drum mill was built on the other side of it. The mill looms almost to colossal heights, 3 stories high, with this epic water wheel still churning in the frothy mist of the river. But you also know that the Temple of Thalor is just a few streets down from the drum mill towards the south. So you cross the bridge where there is probably the most amount of people that you've seen in the city to date. It is a place where it's almost like an active market, but the general energy that you remember it having is certainly lacking. There are a few stalls that are open selling bread, cheese, mostly food stuff as opposed to like any merchant wares, weapons, certainly no like potions or anything of that nature, but mostly just like food goods. Are you stopping at all or are you headed straight to the church?
Well, you saying that makes me think you want me to stop there.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I just want to make sure you are always given options to do things.
Okay. What is the vibe?
Without really enrolling for anything, you're very well aware that it is quiet and anxious. As you kind of glance around the different merchants, they're not doing their usual hawking at passerby, rather they're just kind of standing there waiting patiently for someone to approach them. Of which there are a few. There are people that are hurriedly going about their business, buying food goods to bring home, but for the most part, it is a quiet affair on the bridge today.
Okay. I will approach the nearest vendor. And mind you, I also have my hood drawn up quite high to try to disguise my horns.
Sure.
Mhm. and the nearest vendor.
Hello there, sir. Can I get something for you?
Uh,
And he kind of gestures down to a display of baked goods, mostly bread and rolls, but there are a few sweet pastries, though not many.
um,
Apologies for the limited selection. Sugar is hard to come by right now.
yes. Things are not. Uh, I lean in quietly. Things are not well in Conway's Ferry these days.
His eyes kind of narrow. I paid the protection fee,
Hmm.
if that's what this is about.
No, 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 no. You misunderstand me. Uh, I.
I don't want any trouble.
Mhm. And if one were
Are you
looking,
going to buy something?
do I have any money, or is it all with Doug? I think it might all be with Doug.
Yeah, it's all with junk.
Um, I will rummage around in my bag. God, I don't really have anything worth anything. Uh, I'll say, I'm sorry, I seem to have misplaced my gold, but I was just hoping you could tell me, if one were looking for trouble, where might they find like-minded people?
I suggest you move along.
Yep,
And he kind of nervously looks up and down the street. Make a perception check.
I perceive 16.
You are able to see down the street a trio of very clearly clad in icy blue robes, cultists kind of milling about, glancing between the different stalls, um, making sure there's no roughhousing.
Mhm.
I don't want any trouble, and if you're not going to buy anything, I suggest you move along.
Uh, of course, wouldn't want to get you into trouble. Thank you for your time, I say with a curt nod as I make my way towards the temple.
Okay. As you leave the bridge behind and make a left past the like away from the drum mill, you head two or three streets down before you can clearly see, kind of risen above the plain Tudor style houses and brick and wood and brick buildings, a very simple stone steeple. Like it is a tower that rises above most of the other buildings by about a story or so. But it's not ornate in any fashion. It's very clearly like simple construction of brick and stone, simple gray that rises above the rest of the buildings. And as you round the corner and approach the temple, um, the buildings kind of in a almost hexagon fashion kind of leave a nice three-pointed road around the entrance of the temple. The wooden doors of the temple right now are currently closed, but situated above them, the only ornate piece of the temple is a carved relief into the stone wall of a barrel-chested and heavy bearded figure with pupilless eyes.
I will knock on the temple door or try a handle and see if they're locked.
You knock, but in immediately attempting to move the handle, you find that the door, while heavy, gives way to you. And there's a cool rush of air that kind of spills out from the temple. It's dark inside, and there's a very rich aroma of incense. It's not overpowering or ornamental in any way. It feels like as though it has a purpose, as though like there are stone that are letting off this aroma from a fire on the opposite side of the hall. The interior of the temple is quite plain, not unlike its exterior, with very just simple stone benches laid across, with various altars scattered throughout the temple, and no central altar. You get the sense that there's a kind of a communal aspect where sessions are run in small groups. Um, at the center of the temple, kind of in a seated, like a recessed seating area. There is a circular pillar with a scale on it, and you see the back of a figure kind of observing the scales.
I will approach this figure.
You approach this figure and you hear their voice kind of echo through the empty halls. Welcome. What has brought you here today?
Um, is this person facing me?
They're not. Their
Okay.
back is to you.
I am going to pull down my hood and I'm going to say, you know, growing up, my parents didn't take me to temple much, but I know that Thalor is the god's justice. I have come to deliver justice to the people of Conway's Ferry.
He will turn around to look you in the eye. What you see before you is a rather stern-looking individual, but soft around the eyes. The man has a very rigid jawline and swept-backed gray hair, kept into a nice, like, ornate ponytail that he's just kind of keeping to make sure that the hair stays out of his face. He's an elderly human male, but not like, grandpa age, more like in his late 50s. Um, and he kind of looks you up and down. His face gives very little affect or emotion. He goes, Justice. Justice is something that has been lacking in this city for the past few weeks. His eyes kind of linger on your face and your visage and your horns. He goes, What leads you to believe that you are one to bring it?
I am from this town, and I have seen that there is great evil at work here. I've been witness to this evil. Some of that evil robbed me of my parents and my home when I was younger. A different evil lurks here now as well, and I have been confronted with this before, and I know that if we don't stop it here, it's going to swallow all of you San. I swore a blood oath to avenge the death of my parents, and I want to bring justice to this city as well.
Kind of stares at you for a little bit. Again, not really acknowledging much of what you're saying, at least that you can see. Yes. You're strong of heart. I did not expect to see you here again. Not at least since Bernard's wayward actions. Cassin and Eliza left the tutelage of Thalor long ago, but we observe. I'm I'm not sorry for what happened to your parents, Willem. The balance of life is a fickle thing, and there are plans for all of us. But I am glad to see that you are here to right the scales once again.
Quite a few scales that need righting. I've come here to seek assistance from you or Thalor. I seem to have an issue with a persistent coven of hags, and to seek others who might wish to stand up to the cult here.
You come with many demands. Demanding divine intervention is not often granted, and he kind of stares up at a relief of Thalor that is mirrored on the other side of the chapel's entrance. Yes, they do not often act on our wishes. It is Thalor himself whose teaching suggests that we are the owners of our own destiny, that we ourselves are simply agents of his will. We cannot expect him to act on our accord, but he can expect us to act on his in a just manner. So tell me, what do you come here to ask of me? Specifically.
Specifically, do I know the nature of my affliction? Could I suspect I'm cursed?
You know that you are just having really bad dreams from hags.
Mhm. Okay.
And you know that Ophelia is doing it, just based on what she told you.
Yeah. Well, what I would seek from you, and Thalor by extension, if he were saw fit to bless me as an agent of his justice, a coven of hags has bewitched me, and I'm unable to receive restful sleep. They come to me at night, they show me horrible dreams of my friends and family dying, innards ripped out, strewn across the floor. And what I would seek is an end to these dreams and protection, if Thalor would will it, in a small measure. I also seek brave members of Conway's, or brave congregants of Thalor's, or citizens in Conway's Ferry who might assist me and some other friends of mine from outside of town in putting an end to Hansen Deity's cult.
You are strong of mind and character. It is not often that someone is brazen enough to enter a temple for the first time in their lives and demand a blessing from the gods themselves. One might call it stupidity, but I see it for what it is. You have a kind heart, and you wish to rid the world of injustice. I cannot speak for Thalor. I am merely his conduit here on the material plane, and I am a worshipper of him just as many of my congregation. I, however, am free to bless you. It sounds as though you've been touched by the Night Weaver. I know an incantation that can protect you. It'll be something that you will need to learn, but I can help you with it at least for now. As for rallying my congregation, I will not send sheep to slaughter. How can I be so sure that you have and your friends have what it takes if I am to put my congregation at risk?
Um, I'm going to just look him dead in the eyes and say, I would ask that you put your faith in me and put your faith in Thalor.
For the first time in the entire conversation, he smiles just a little bit. Yes. I would.
I
His
also
hand is going to glow in a radiant energy as he mutters a small incantation, Ad meum de glorum. And he's going to place his hand atop your head, and you feel this rush of just relief flow through your body as you are now protected from good and evil. That will prevent any dreams from befalling you while you are protected. Now, as for rallying my congregation, I need to know what our move is. We are disconnected and disjointed. The citizens, they fear for their lives. I will do my part to rally them to our cause, but I must know when to move and where we are going. Do you have a plan?
I have friends who are currently out and about in town. One is seeking an audience with Sigmund to try to get more information on him and perhaps learn some of his vulnerabilities. And we are
Sig-
acquainted with another member of the cult who is very powerful, but we have reason to believe she's being manipulated by them and may turn against them.
we are putting our faith in unpredictable things. But I will place mine in you and your friends to see us through. Here. And he pulls out a stone. He goes, I've been using this to communicate with Anara of Elowen's temple. We have other ones here, that you may stay in touch with us and tell us what our next move is. But I advise you to be careful, Willem. Take care of where you step and who you speak to. The cult has sunk its teeth into this city far beyond what you might already see. I do not know who we can trust. People here are simply trying to survive. And I will see to it that they do, however means necessary.
How many of you are there? Those who would stand up against oppression?
He turns over his shoulder, and for the first time, you notice another priest in the room, a younger member, but he kind of pipes up because there are plenty of fighting men. I'll find them, and there are some old members of the city watch who retired, and we might be able to rouse them to our cause.
This is good to
He's a
know.
12, and the person that Willem has been talking to is an 8, but it's just because he's old.
I will be back in touch shortly. Thank you for what you've done here. And Willem sort of looks up at the statue and he goes, my gratitude to you as well.
At this moment, the doors swing open, and you hear a sinister voice. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. We're here to collect our protection costs. And you see standing in the doorway a trio of cultists.
Willem is going to give a sideways glance to the head priest and see what he would like to do.
Um, he is going to look at you and go, Patience. Yes, Sinestra, we have what you're looking for. Um, Garrett, could you please collect the contributions from our latest service? And the aide to the side will kind of run off and he goes, Now, um, you have a job to do. I'll trust that you see it through. We need new stone for the back wall. And he looks at you.
Yes, Father, of course. More stone.
It's just priest.
Oh,
But
priest.
yes.
Sorry, I didn't know if we were going Catholic with this or not.
No. And as you walk out, the individual, he's just a very shiny, bald head with a sunken face, going to place their hand on your chest. Go, up, 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 up. Where you headed to, horn boy? Pay up. 10 gold for protection costs.
I'm going to look at him and say, uh, so sorry, sir. Left my gold pouch at home in my rush to go help the father fetching stone. Perhaps I could pay the costs later, meet you somewhere, or the father may be willing, or priest rather, may be willing to spot me.
See here, son, the high priest Tormund is a little late on his payment. So we'd like to consider you as an advance on that. So either you pay up or you're going to the stockade, son. Those are the rules.
I just exchange a long glance with the priest, sort of asking
You can
what I
trade
should
something.
do
You could
here.
trade something, like a potion or something.
That is a mighty fine sword you have there.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's worth 10 gold?
Worth a bit more than that.
Perfect. You can consider your next few payments taken care of.
What has
Unless
Torment?
you're interested in going to jail.
What are Tormund's eyes suggesting?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Sorry, perception check.
17.
His hand is kind of palm down, and he's just kind of urging you to acquiesce.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Of course. I was just wondering if I were able to find the protection money, would I be able to have my sword back? It's a bit of a family heirloom, you see.
Family heirloom, yeah. I think I'll keep it. Unless you want to go to the stockade.
No, it's fine. Enjoy.
Tell you what, son. Now, I'll tell you what. You find me at the drum mill, bring me 50 gold. It's yours. Don't worry about it.
Of course. I'll find you with the gold there. And I hand
Sounds
over
great.
my sword.
Pleasure doing business with you. Stay safe out there. City streets. Very dangerous.
I am so fucking angry right now.
Laserhawk, how's it going?
That's great. I'm doing good.
You arrive at the drum mill.
Is there like a big door?
Sorry, I'm pulling up my notes.
Oh.
I'm just going very slow at the moment.
Chris, I don't know if this helps at all, but I am trying to also find Laserhawk at this point.
Okay, so you're gonna head towards the drum mill as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say that you are actually the two of you are able to arrive at the same time, and what, Brenwin?
Somebody said they have
Oh,
10,000
um,
gold.
I have
oh.
10,000 gold.
So you arrive at the drum mill. Technically, he does. Um, and you see this just industrious looking, imposing structure that casts this very long shadow along the town square. The Tudor style architecture that you've become accustomed to from like kind of the residence and things like that is a little bit different. While the base is brick and wood framing, the rest of it is a tall brick building, where and you can even see as you kind of cross the original bridge this kind of colossal water wheel that is affixed to the side of the mill, churning just tirelessly in the froth of the river. Um, you have arrived. There is a front door, but you can feel free to make a perception check or really anything, or you could just head straight in if you'd like.
Are we together or am I alone?
You two have arrived together.
Willem,
How'd,
how was your religious experience?
well, I am protected from evil for a little while. But one of them took my fucking sword.
That is a bummer.
I, I do have another one, but it's not quite as good.
Uh, uh, that that's rough, buddy. And I pat him on the back.
Yeah, I'm supposed to give Sinistra or something like that bald-headed ugly bastard 50 gold and get my sword back. But yeah, how'd things go for you?
Uh, well, uh, found out the town's fucked, and then I ended up here.
Oh, yeah, the town is fucked, but and I lean real close. There are individuals who would be willing to assist us with a you know, change in management.
Yeah, seems like there's a decent amount of people who are not a huge fan of the whole cult business. So I
Yeah,
think
I wonder why that
we'll
could
be
be.
okay.
Have you heard anything from the other two or
No,
seen anyone?
I assume that they're doing just fine with Cena's side of things, though. I can't imagine why they wouldn't be. They can handle themselves just fine.
Yeah,
Don't a big boy Brandon's a smart girl. I think it'll be fine.
yeah. Nothing bad has ever happened to Brandwin.
Mm.
That's
Now,
solid.
now look, I'm as we enter the building. I mean this with the utmost respect, Willem. I'm gonna be taking charge here. All right, I'm gonna be leading the way. Just kind of, I think out of the two of us, the boy who ran away, or I guess people think you're dead or whatever, but you browse a bit more suspicion, especially if you're not disguised. So
Yeah. The eye patch doesn't draw attention at all.
this is my fucking disability.
Yep. And Willem's gonna point at his horns and go, These are kind of mine."
I'd knock on the door.
Having not really taken the opportunity to look around the town square, the place is lousy with cultists. And as you knock on the front door, one of them, standing not too far from the entrance to the mill, just kind of looks at you and goes, "Who are you here to see?"
Looking to have an audience with Sigmund. We got
He steps
information.
over to you and, oh, he pulls his sword out of his sheath and goes, "What gives you the right to talk to Sigmund?"
I've got some information I'm sure he'll want to hear.
The information that Sigmund's going to hear is going to go through me first. So tell me, what is it?
Sigmund's in danger.
No kidding. You have any real evidence to suggest
Not
something that we should be concerned about?
not on me, but I'm sure you don't want to be the guy who doesn't let the guy in who to warn Sigmund when he fucking dies.
Make a persuasion check.
-1. Oh, jeez. 16.
He looks around nervously and he goes, "What exactly do you have to talk to him about?"
It's all high level stuff, Hanson Deity kind of stuff. I come
Do you
from
know
over
where
there.
he is?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, then we need to get you to talk to him right away. Um, and he kind of snaps his fingers at another person further away. He goes, "I'm taking them up to see Sigmund. They know about Hansen." And they give a stern nod, and you are escorted into the building. And he goes, "Sigmund's on the third floor. If you can come with me, well, he might be praying. So, how much do you know about Hansen Deity? Like, do you know when he's coming?"
I know everything.
Uh, Shit. All right. If he's praying, we'll interrupt. And if you're sure this is important, and you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. With advantage, it's nat 20. And I rolled a 19 after that.
He goes, "Okay. All right, come on." And he is going to escort you up towards the top level. Um, you pass through in the main entrance of the building, just this epic hall. You get the sense that this is where a lot of the original, like, grist and whatever the big versions of pestle and mortars are called that you would ordinarily see in a mill. It's a
Grindstone.
grist, right? Grindstone. It's not also called a grist?
It
Like a
might be.
grist mill?
I thought
Well,
grist was
we'll
the
go
stuff
with
being
yes.
milled, but whatever.
Whatever. And you are able to, so like you just get this like very looming sense, and there's a lot of desks that are kind of lined up against these large glass panel windows that make up the walls that overlook the river. And you get the sense that this is kind of where people worked when the mill was in use as a government building. But for now, are you doing anything while you're walking, or are you just following as fast as possible?
I'm just following.
Okay. Willem, is your hood up?
Um, yes.
Okay, just checking. You get up towards the second floor. It's a narrow staircase. Given the size of the building, it seems a bit odd, but you get the sense that when the mill was in operation, they were just attempting to use as much possible floor space as they had available. So it's a narrow staircase that kind of winds up, and you can get a sense from the walls. There's these like kind of a lot of tapestries that hang that bore the crest of the Drum family that have just been ripped and torn down from the walls and kind of lie in heaps along the sides. Um, as you make your way up to the second floor and beyond, you get a quick glimpse of the second floor and see it's a bit of a labyrinth of offices and hallways, but you're really not on it long enough to experience it. Instead, you find yourselves on this landing of the third floor, which has a large ornate double door at the top of the stairs. There are two well armored cultists standing in the doorway, and you immediately recognize them as dwarves. You gesture to them, and the cultist escorting you says, "This man is here to see Sigmund, and we need to do so as soon as possible." The dwarf on the right will see Sigmund. Sigmund is praying and shall not be interrupted. What news do you bring?
I got news about Hansen Dady.
Lady, what news?
I know where he is.
Do you know? Make a deception check. For a second, I thought you might have known.
No, I don't. Unless, did you guys mention it at any point to Laser?
I don't think they
Yes,
did.
Maybe.
yes, I definitely did.
Uh,
Last night we talked all about him.
7.
He only rolled a 6.
Oh my god!
Just,
Holy!
well, give me a minute. He'll want to hear it from me first. And he kind of opens the door.
Willem's gonna
Um,
get close to Laserhawk and go, "What is the plan here?"
make a stealth check. It is close quarters.
12.
One of the dwarves leaves. Something you want to share with the rest of us?
Yeah, sorry. I was just, complaining about a weird itch.
He does that. He complains about itches. He does it all the time. It's really fucking annoying.
I got fleas.
Two of Willem, make a deception check with advantage because Laserhawk is helping you.
18.
Hey!
We got ointments for that. Olive's apothecary downtown. We cleaned her out, but I'm sure she could still find something for you.
Yeah, I was just asking what the plan is to deal with my itch.
Fair enough. The doors before you open, and they reveal a monumental overlook. You're actually immediately struck by just a gush of wind that cascades over you as the entire side of the building is open to the air. And you have a pretty significant glimpse out to the city below. You see doors flanking on the left and the right. And make a perception check.
Both of us are just Laserhawk.
The two of you can make perception checks.
8.
30-20.
All right. The two of you can actually open Owlbear again.
Wow.
Open it again for the first time.
Oh yeah, true. Sorry, it's just loading on
Can
the
the title
screen
for
here.
this episode be Never Split the Party?
What else is new? So the two of you are immediately greeted by just a large volume of people, including three heavily armored dwarves in front of you, wearing just kind of like simple what?
I just saw
Simple
somebody
metallic
using the
armor.
owl bear.
Yes, simple metallic armor, as well as a crest that has clearly been carved
No.
into it of a holly leaf. And standing at the top near a kind of a makeshift altar that's been put together is almost a hilariously well armored dwarf. He has completely brand new, resplendent, icy blue metal plate armor, and a helm with ginger hair cascading down his shoulders, and he's currently kneeling on the ground, so he seems a bit shorter. But Willem, with your keen eye, out of the corner of your eye, you see a figure to your left, thoroughly bound in chains. Sina, lying on the floor on her knees with a woman's hand on her shoulder, and she glares at you, shooting daggers from her eyes as you arrive on the landing.
Does she have anything obstructing her mouth?
She does.
Okay, cool. Then I will just walk up and say, Sigmund, I would need to have a word with you. I'm sorry to interrupt your praying. I know it's important.
The figure kneeling will dust him, like kind of lift himself up from the ground and dust his hands off. He goes, "Quite all right. Just needed to commune with her, establishing the final plans. My aides tell me you bring news of the lost one. Tell me, what is there to be known of Hansen Dady?"
Right. Uh, well, uh, my name is Laserhawk. I am a bounty hunter from Conway's Ferry originally. I was on a bounty
Ah,
hunt.
one of the locals.
Yeah, so unfortunately, not a huge fan of this place, but it gives work. Uh, what your cult does is none of my fair business. I thought I'd pass along some information, perhaps for some coin, if that's all right. Just business for me, a man of business.
Sigmund will kind of lift his hands and chuckle a little bit. And tell me, what um what why would I pay you for information when I could simply kill you here and now and lift the answers from your corpse? Another slain in her name.
I guess I don't have an answer for that, other than
Willem is
I'd kill you
going
first. That's
to
literally my job.
Willem is going to whisper in your ear. I need you to give me a hand signal if I should do something incredibly stupid.
I
Make a stealth check.
I nod, um, regardless of how the stealth check goes. I nod.
14.
Okay. I'll say you're far enough away from everyone that you're able to kind of mutter that under your breath. You, you come here to my house of worship, and you tell me that you bring news of the man we hold so dear, who set us on this mission, now lost to time.
As I was saying,
Tell me what you know of him.
yeah, I was on a job, looking for a boy over in Waltham Wood. Uh, Spent a few days out there, and I came across a man who I soon learned was named Hansen Dady. Uh, and he told me after hold on, can I go back 3 or 4 words?
I'll allow it.
Thank you, Chris. I came across a man named Hansen Dady. seemed to be doing some worship, having some good old times with the commune with a spirit of some kind. Uh, and he just disappeared right in front of me. Went somewhere else.
Hmm,
I don't
that
think
is
he's going
interesting.
back.
What would you have me do in this situation? We find ourselves without a leader, in need of one. Someone should step up, yes? See through his final mission.
He could, but I know for a fact that there's people who don't like you here. People who want you dead. Who will stop at
There are
nothing to
many
get it.
people.
Thousands.
There are many people who would want me dead. There are many people who would want our mission ended. But the reality is, it is not for them to wish. It is her will, my actions, and we will bring forth a new age. And I find it interesting that you would tell me that Hansen Dady disappeared before your very eyes. Because our friend over there, and he gestures to Cena, who is muffled and just struggling wildly, he says, well, she has told me the very same. And she has mentioned no statement of a man with an eye patch, but she has told Prey of a young boy doing a terrible job concealing his horns beneath a frayed hood. So perhaps you would care to tell me what really happened to Hansen Dady. And he gestures to you, Willem.
I'm going to give a sideways glance to Laserhawk.
I'm gonna not give a hand signal, but kind of like nod. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it, do something stupid?
No. Just a nod.
Okay. I will look at Sigmund and I'll say, it's true. I do know where Hansen is. But then I'm gonna point at Cena and go, what has she told you?
You are in no position to bargain here. So unless you'd like to be thrown off this roof, you'll tell me the truth. And I might find in my heart to see mercy.
Very well. I. Hmm. Hansen Dady is no longer on this plane.
Where is he exactly?
I would assume he's in the Feywild. A
Terrific.
traveling companion of mine got into a bit of an altercation with him and happened to have a planar amulet and take them both somewhere else.
Yes, the planar amulet that you stole from right underneath our noses and that bumbling oaf of a cleric. This confirms much of what she said. But the reality is, she thinks herself the person most likely to take up this mantle and see us through to our almighty reign. Have I said something funny?
The lowly thief. I don't know why I went into that accent. The lowly thief. Fucking Cena. No.
Yes. That's why she finds herself where she is now.
Yeah, you did right with that.
Should we have you join her?
Now you wouldn't put me in chains, would you? When I gave you such valuable information, or at least confirmed it.
What information have you given me besides a lie? And you have brought one of the very people who saw our great leader brought to the other plane here before my feet, surrounded. As a matter of fact, you've done me a great service. You may go, but your friend stays.
I am going to point at Sigmund and say, and you think yourself powerful or wise enough to challenge the lady's will? She has appointed this one as her voice on this plane, and you would take control instead of her? You would put her in chains? I turn to the rest of
Make
the
an insight
cultists and
check.
go, What do you think about this? What am I making?
Make an insight check.
That's going to be a 16.
You see a fleeting moment of panic across Sigmund's face. Just silence. I am the lady's voice and will on this plane.
You said yourself she would have Cena lead you, and you have her in chains. Who do you think you are?
No, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe you misunderstood. He said that Cena claims to be the person,
I thought
but
he
he is
said
saying that
that
he
the
heard.
lady told her.
No,
Yeah, yeah,
the lady, as in
yeah.
she,
Well,
told him that he is the new leader.
okay.
She has told me, she with the capital S, has told me that I am to see through Deity's final mission, that I am to bring her here. It is my will, and it shall be done.
And you,
And he gestures to a large, colossal diamond situated on the altar. He goes, "This is all we need. What red wine was incapable of doing, what Deity was incapable of doing, what I have brought, it will be my doing. And you get to stand witness to it."
I look at Laserhawk, I give a shrug, and I'm gonna use one of the scrolls you gave me and cast Fireball.
Okay.
Centered on the diamond and hoping to get as many of those cult motherfuckers in there as possible.
Okay, so if you're looking at the owl bear, the diamond is back here on the table, and the cult people are right here. So you could, how wide is
Fireball is a sphere with
Fireball?
a 20-foot radius.
So if you're centering it on the diamond, you could get these two guys.
And the ones up top are no.
No, just these two guys.
Gotta try to destroy that
Assuming you
diamond.
center it on the diamond.
Yep.
Hold on one second. I need to look up the hit points of a diamond.
If you tell me it's indestructible, so help me God.
These guys are in it, right?
No, if it's a 20-foot radius.
It's not,
Oh, those two up top. Yes. Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, 4.
Okay. Is it just it's just a ranged spell attack, right?
It's not a ranged spell attack. Or sorry,
Save.
there is a save, a dexterity saving throw.
Yes. Okay. So
And my
all
spell
of a
save
sudden,
DC is a 14 at the moment.
okay. So they have to beat a 14.
Yep.
Okay, well the diamond automatically fails. The two people up top fail. This guy fails. And so does Sigmund. So roll damage.
All right. It's 8d6, so could somebody keep track of this for me? First one's a 4. Second one's a 3. Third one's a 5. Fourth one's a
11,
1.
12,
I
13.
dropped my d6, which is not good. I'll be right back.
We're on 13.
I have legitimately no idea where that went, so somebody else please roll the rest of it. This is bad.
It's not going to be me. Laserhawk, you do it because you're there.
Oh, okay. Wait, how
How
many
many
do
are
you
left?
have?
That was 4.
4.
And it's 8d6 total?
Yep.
The rest of it is 11.
That's not a lot of damage.
No.
So 25 total damage. Hold on, let me put that in 1 second.
Maybe it could be a big concussive blast and totally throw some people off the edge of the tower.
It's not going to do that.
Be a lot cooler if it did.
25, you
Towards
said?
the explosion.
25, yeah. I think.
Yeah, 25.
Okay. All right, so one of these people up here in the top right corner burn to a crisp. And you just hear as the fireball hits the diamond a blood-curdling scream as they just burst into flames and leave a flaming husk lying on the ground. So they will die. Um, your first glance is that everyone else is hurt, and they're kind of clasping their the flames off of their bodies, but the diamond's still situated on the table. And while the table burns around it, the diamond is still intact.
No
And
cracks
I
in that
will
diamond.
no cracks in that diamond.
Okay. Chris, is the
And
diamond indestructible?
it's not indestructible, but it has a lot more than 25 hit
How big
points.
is that diamond?
It's a pretty big diamond.
Go ahead, pick it up.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that we will pause your instance here
That's fair.
and just set up where our companions Branwen and Dunk have been deposited.
I think
So
I'm
It
sorry.
doesn't matter where we are. We're just hanging tight, man.
yeah, you are hurtled back to light as you find yourselves chained to chairs in a dingy basement with the same trio of cultists, along with two more in the back. You're very clearly, upon first scan, in a basement of some kind, but it is small and dingy, as though in a house, as opposed to like any significant building. Wakey, wakey.
I. What? We weren't sleeping? We're not like parrots.
Hmm. Why don't you go ahead and tell me why you're in Conway's Ferry?
Y'all are here.
So you're
Pretty
here to stop
obvious.
us. You're heroes.
Oh, for sure no on that second part.
No, not at all.
No, yeah. We just want to help the town.
Help the town with what?
Being a better place.
And you think that you'll be able to do that by doing what exactly?
Honestly, we just wanted some more information on how you guys are operating. I'm being very honest with you.
And do you expect me to do the same? What do you want to know, love?
I wanted to know what Sigmund's deal is. That's what I wanted to know.
Sigmund's a right foul git who thinks he runs the place and is going to get us all killed.
Huh.
So y'all aren't fans, I take it.
I think we're more fans of a pretty good thing that we've got going here for us. Money's good. We charge the damn locals protection money, and we get as much as we can until some bigger force comes and drives us out. But Sigmund, he claims to be hearing her, which we all know only Dady could. It's the whole reason we joined up to begin with.
Yeah, man. See, y'all got it right, in my opinion. Like these like crazy guys hearing voices, like fuck that. Get money. You know what I'm saying?
Are you the ones going
Yeah,
out executing people?
executing people? No, rough them up a little bit. Hope they give us some money. No, there are a couple of people on the east side of the river that are killing people, but listen, things aren't great right now, all right? And the last thing we need is people like you who are dumb and just stupid enough to tempt Sigmund into doing what he's planning to do and ruin this all for the rest of us.
What is he planning to do?
He keeps talking about this diamond that him and his dragoons stole. Lady used to talk about it, but quite frankly, we didn't really think we were going to get this far. Then we took over the place, and a voice chimes up from the back and goes, "Dahlia, shut up." Because we're not going to let her go. I can't talk to you people about this. It's a new face, just
I do like to hear
Dahlia.
the hot goss.
Yeah, what's hold on, what's all this with this diamond? This sounds
Yeah, what the hell is the diamond?
sounds like it'd be worth a lot of money, you know what I'm saying?
it's just yeah, it is. It is worth a lot of money, and we're wasting it on some spell,
What's the
some
spell?
ritual or whatever. I don't know. It's opening up the gate or whatever
Wait,
to
what?
let her through. It's like
Oh, fuck.
it's opening up the gate or whatever just to let her through or something.
Who
Needs a lot of metal. That's why he hasn't done it yet. He's bringing
needs
in,
a lot of
you know.
metal?
Yeah, well, it was always we were supposed to do it in Westwatch. That big metal monstrosity of red wines. So now we got to do it here. But I don't know. We haven't really had a lot of contact with them.
So, okay. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. What we want is to make the people in this town feel safe again. And not gonna lie, you're not doing a really great job of that. But you know who's doing a worse job of that?
I'm not trying to.
We want
Oh,
we want to get rid of Sigmund. Honestly, that's what we
fat
want.
chance. Good luck. And what happens to the rest of us when you get rid of our boss? You don't think they come and kill us? We know what you're about. You take off the head, they're gonna come for the rest. Listen, we don't like Sigmund, that's why we're over here holed up, but we're not dumb enough to instigate a fight with him. We know we wouldn't win. The people that surround him are fanatical, and they're way stronger than we are. Plus, as soon as he's gone, the fun's over. No more robbing little cobblers blind for all they're worth.
You won't need to though. You got that big ass diamond.
And who's gonna get it? You're saying that I'm gonna get it?
Well, I mean, these people are paying you for protection. So who's to say
Because we
that
force them to, and we beat the shit out of them, and maybe kill their pets if they don't.
I'm trying to say that potentially you could boom flip it, okay? Turn o- Show them you could have a running gig here, at least having an organized crime setup. That's better than having a cult.
I'm getting tired of listening to you.
Oh, most people do.
Yeah. Why are you like? Is it just the two of you thinking you're gonna take on the whole cult by yourselves?
Well, they're honestly, it's not just the two of us, and I'm pretty sure the other ones aren't messing up nearly as much as we are.
Yeah. What was the plan? Like you were gonna infiltrate us and turn us against one another?
Honestly, we were just trying to get information right now, and I just have real bad luck.
Yeah, this didn't work out for you, love.
No, most things
No,
don't.
not this time.
You got friends. You got family.
Are you saying that in a threatening way?
No, I'm asking. You got friends. You got family.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, you got tons. They're all mostly right here.
Hmm.
Listen, tonight we'll untie you. You'll write your goodbyes. But tomorrow we'd probably throw you in the river.
Please don't throw me in the river.
It's just you're kind of a threat. Well, to be honest, you're not a threat. We
Oh,
beat
I
you
didn't
so
say I
easily.
Yeah,
was.
we're pretty obviously not that much of a threat.
Yeah.
The two of you make a perception check.
19.
Not good. Not good. 4. No, 2 actually, sorry.
Bronwen, you notice over the shoulder of the woman who's talking to you a shimmering, like the side of the wall that you would be looking at begins to become opaque, and it starts to shimmer and flux as though the solid nature of it is no longer there. Um, and in this panel, it's like a rectangular panel where the wall does not look the same as it did before you first noticed this. A beam of light kind of cascades up from the floor, and you see a different area um, beyond the door, and two figures step through this ethereal door and into the room. Um, and one of them, a blonde woman with pointed ears, quickly clasps her hands together and will cast slow across the room, as the figure you recognize only as Elray goes, "Well, I see this went exactly according to plan." And we will stop there for the night.
Oh man,
Christopher!
this is the biggest two-parter of all time.
We thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Nat20Hot. This went exactly how I expected it to. And we hope that you all will join us next Wednesday for the thrilling continuation of the worst plan ever created. And and stay tuned on our social media accounts at Nat20Hot, Instagram and TikTok, or on our website, www.nat20hot.com, to see if we maybe play on Sunday. And if we don't see you then, we will see you some other time. Have a great night, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye bye.